Hi everyone, back to the Evermore YouTube channel. It's Chris back with my rant stroke thought of the day. This one was a request, a special one by one of our viewers. Over to you, Tim, for this one. I was thinking about this, to be honest with you. I did mention it in the post-match review where I was a little bit hoarse talking about Newcastle's, I'd say, great win against Fulham. It wasn't a great win, to be fair, but it was a win nonetheless. Newcastle United 2-0 winners in the FA Cup, moving on to the fifth round of the FA Cup. It was televised, as you probably would have seen, most of you, for free, which is good, so can't complain about that, on ITV4, home of probably what the Likely Lads or Vera series 1 or something like that, or El Dorado or some shit like that. Buy Me a House or Attic Hunters or some crap like that. So I wasn't expecting anything particularly great from ITV4, to be brutally honest with you, but I was expecting a shite sight more than what we all got, which was the rancid dynamic duo commentary team of Clive Tyldesley and Lee Dixon, who were utterly fucking abysmal for the entire game. It really was. And it was made me think about this rant, and Tim's just kind of nudges over the line there in terms of just the state of football commentary at the moment is absolutely rancid. It really is. But I'll start with these two tits first. So anybody who didn't watch the game, obviously the first goal, there was a little bit of controversy in it in terms of it hit Bruno Guimaraes in the shoulder stroke higher part of his arm, fell at Sean Longstaff, who volleyed it in the bottom corner. Now, most people watched it and said, right, so the rules state that as long as the ball doesn't hit the goal scorer's arm to give him an advantage to score the goal, then it's not a handball. It's not a deliberate handball. So the goal stands. Anyone saw that straight away. Really, these two morons kept going on and on and on about it. Honestly, for about 15 minutes after the goal was scored, and they kept talking about it, just talking about how anti-Newcastle rhetoric and just being miserable, and no praise or commentary really for anybody. Not until really the second half they started talking about maybe some of Louis Miley's touches and a bit of Dan Burn. Dixon gave the man of the match Dan Burn, which for me was a bit, a bit of a funny one as well anyway, really. But they were just so fucking bad, And, Dixon was saying, was it what we need now is a Fulham goal? And it plays into that kind of stereotype that there seems to be a real anti-Newcastle rhetoric going on now. But I'm sure it isn't just us. I'm sure other football fans have seen the complete lack of quality in terms of commentators and pundits in the mainstream football media. We tweeted Sky Sports that clip doing the rounds, when they called Lewis Hall Matt Hall, and like I say, we engaged one of the Sky Sports guys. He come back and kind of bit back us a little bit, because I said you do about 5 minutes worth of research, and he said he's followed Eddie for a good few years and everything else. To which point I said fair play to him for responding, because you want these guys to respond to you. You don't want them just to ignore you and bugger off into the shadows and not engage in a conversation with you. But the biggest issue I think I have here is, in Sky's case and TNT Sports, we'll put ITV to the corner for 1 second. For those two, that is a product that they're charging a premium for, a fucking fortune for, in a cost of living crisis, hundreds of pounds for these packages. And the pundits they're using, the commentators they've got are so shit. I mean, I watched us play Liverpool on Sky, and Peter Drury, short of writing a sonnet of love to Jurgen Klopp. I mean, Jurgen Klopp announced he's leaving Liverpool the other day, and the whole of the Sky almost went the fucking mourning. I didn't see that reaction when the Queen died. The rancid kind of affiliation to the greedy six clubs that Sky have in particular is fucking odious. It really, really is. There's a sprinkling of good people in amongst that organization. Like Gary Neville seems to have his own kind of frequency that he operates under. He's not scared to attack one of the bigger clubs, even his own club, Manchester United, on a regular basis. And he does give praise where praise is due to other clubs as well. Carragher has his moments as well when he's like that, but he has his moments where he goes on the other side of it. But they got rid of Martin Tyler, who was terrible, by the way. He sounded like he was totally past it. And again, he couldn't stop blowing up the the greedy six. And I thought Peter Drury would have been better. And I think he's actually worse. I think he's actually worse. Mark had a lot of time from when he first came on, but some of the shit that falls out that guy's face is horrific. So they need a massive overhaul of their commentator side, and they need to start giving you better value for money, really. Same with the pundits in the Sky Sports News studios and talking about teams and transfers and tactics and things like that. Get some more engagement. Get some more engagement from former players. Get some more engagement from fan-led media. There's loads of people out there that you could go and speak to. Cash and I have got about 7 or 8 fan-led channels, and that's not even including us. There's loads of people out there you can go and tap up and talk to. It's same as all the other fan bases as well. Don't just have your own little favorites that you bring on all the time. Spread it out. Get different people on different opinions. Get them on and have a little conversation with them. In terms of the punditry side, but the commentary side is dreadful. It's absolutely dreadful. We put something out on Twitter saying, is there any good commentators left? Which is the whole point of my rant here, really. And I knew exactly what people were going to say. There only seems to be one that is universally loved by everybody, and that's Ali McCoist. Ali McCoist is brilliant. He's impartial. He's funny. He's articulate. He's sensible. He watches the game. He's endearing. He's what a commentator should be: totally impartial, totally unbiased to the game that he's calling. He shouldn't be rooting on the other team or waxing lyrically to the point where he's writing poetry about Jurgen Klopp or something like that, which Peter Drury was. I'd be shocked if he's not a fucking Liverpool fan. You don't get that from Ali McCoist. Even if he was watching Celtic, he would still be complimentary and praise him. If he was watching Rangers, he would be impartial and everything as well. These commentators could learn a lot by listening to Ali McCoist and being a bit more like him. You go to TNT, McCoy seems to, I don't know if he's freelance, he goes to Amazon. Amazon are brilliant when they get it. I think the coverage and the commentary that Amazon provide is outstanding. Shearer was brilliant when he was on commentary. McCoy is brilliant on commentary. The other guys that they use as well, fantastic. More games to Amazon Sport for me. More games to them, absolutely. You'd pay the cost for that. You'd pay the premium for that because they make sure they get the right people in to do it. But TNT and Sky, maybe they've just become so complacent because they're always getting the Premier League football that they've become so shit with the standard of product that they're delivering. So that needs a big overhaul. Like I said, the Champions League, when you've got McManaman and Owen Hargreaves on commentary. Owen Hargreaves, honest to God, if I was in a lift with Owen Hargreaves and it broke down, I'd pop the hatch and fucking shimmy up like Bruce Willis and Die Hard to get away from the dull bastard. Honestly, he would bore me to death in that lift. That'd be me, end of the road. Not having it. He's shit. So going back to the ITV guys, I know it was a free channel. I know it was the FA Cup, but fuck me, ITV. Surely you've got somebody better than these two tits to come behind the mic and call a game. It wasn't a great game. Fulham weren't great either. They played some nice stuff, but they couldn't put it away. We weren't great either. I think it may be an element of concern and energy for Tuesday for Villa. But, it was a all Premier League tie. And these two, they were not Premier League standard commentators at all. So if you're going to give the FA Cup to the likes of ITV need to up your game and you need to have better commentary in that situation than these two fucking idiots. The pundits weren't great either in the studio, to be honest with you. I've got loads of time for Laura Woods as a broadcaster. I think she's brilliant. And I know a local who's getting a lot of shit because of the whole Joey Barton situation. I don't want to really commentate on that really because, I'm not really a big fan of the way Barton goes about his business, but some of the critique of her is fair. She's not a great pundit. It's nothing to do with the fact she's a woman. She's just not a very good pundit. Joey McAnuff was all right. He didn't say a lot, but when he did, he's quite an articulate guy and he was all right. But you just feel like these media channels just need to up their game, Other than that, you go and watch fan-led media, and I think that's growing. You can see why the watch-along scenario has grown with channels. The guys that Tune Review from Newcastle point of view get loads of people watching along with their commentary with Paul and Billy, and they do a really good job. Corner, obviously, from a very Newcastle-orientated perspective, but they do a much better job than the mainstream media guys are doing right now. And I think more and more people will start turning that commentary down and listening to guys like that as an alternative, as opposed to watching the mainstream guys and certainly paying hundreds of pounds to do so in the case of Sky and BT. Serious game needs to be upped in that situation because it isn't fucking good enough right now, basically. That's my take on that. So that's my rant done on that one, guys. Hope you enjoyed that kind of a thing. And if you do, why not consider subscribing to the channel? There's a few more of these that pop up every now and again. Smash that button, like the video, help the channel grow. We'll be back soon, I'm sure, with another thought of the day, possibly a rant, certainly when this window shuts, because if we don't sign anybody, I'm not going to be a happy camper because I think we're leaving ourselves very, very short. Have a cracking day wherever you are, everyone. We'll catch you later. Cheers. Bye.